The same thing. Is it online?
Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
And,
Make sure you're not.
Yeah.
Still, used to come with stuff and I was like, I'm not bringing stuff.
It's usually the same.
I used to have like a binder with all my agendas in it in the past, and I still have it.
Well, I need to get a binder, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, binder.
I've been lazy on that.
it's 6 o'clock. Okay, ready. We're ready. I call this meeting to order. It is 6 o'clock. And our first item is to consider approval of the September 17th, 2025 meeting minutes and take appropriate action.
I moved that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. We will now move on to receive subcommittee updates and take appropriate action. And we will begin with artist outreach.
We did not have a meeting this, since last meeting, but I do want to, I don't know, Bonnie, if you're gonna bring this up later, but the email that went out to advertise the signs, I received it because I'm on the artist directory and it was great and I'm excited and I'm interested to hear if anybody responded to it. I mean, it wasn't really a responding sort of an email, but if you got any,
We have not
Interested.
gotten respond, but, I did attach it, so you can look in your minutes, it is an attachment. And this is what went out to, the, artist directory. And so, telling them that we will be able to hand out the signs for upcoming events, which some of you have signed up for. And when we're just done sharing, then I will just go over if, sometimes if you're available to man the table, that the people that signed up for that. But that's what went out and, the only person I did get and this is, I think could go under artist outreach, is I did get an email from.
Kalika?
I'm sorry?
Kalika?
Yeah.
I called her last week and gave her some updates about the potential of like doing events where they do artist demos and stuff like that. She was curious if there was a way that they could have a table, just an informational table at Branch Arts Live that they would man themselves for the Farmers Branch Carrollton Arts Association. And I told her if that was okay, then I would call her and let her know. They'd man it themselves.
That would be up to Dawn.
I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, y'all are good with that? Okay, I will give her a call and let her know about that. I informed her about the artist directory, that there's a little bit of a transition. I created this QR code, but to be honest, right now it's not really working because unless you have an membership or unless you've signed up already, you don't really have access to much. And there's not an option to sign up right now. It lives under the the Discover FB site right now.
Correct.
But it looks like it'll maybe trying to migrate it to the main page.
No, it'll stay under Discover Farmers Branch. I've been working with Rachel the last couple of days and it's on the back end. So when it says, submit a form, like you're a new artist and you want to submit a form, the form doesn't appear. What appears is please log in. And, we're aware of that. And there's a glitch there. So if you have the QR code that you can, if you're coming to some of these events that we'll go over in a minute we could physically sign them up through a QR code, or I have, paper that we could at least jot down their information. And then when she thought she fixed it today, but when I went in to try it right before I came here, it still didn't work. So,
Yeah.
she may have to call someone to kind of look at it on the back end. So yes, we do want to get that up and running, and her and I both, if someone, sends information, through that have a question or they want to be part of something, then I usually get an email regarding that and she will also get it. So then we could add to our artist directory.
Okay. On the Discover FB page, like if you just go to that directly, there's not a link or a drop down to get to that. You have to go through the main city page, arts and culture, and then click on the artist directory to get to that. So that's another thing to bring up to her as well.
She's aware of it, yeah. And she is trying to fix the glitches. But it is, when you look across the top, there is a place where it says, things to do and culture and stuff, and then arts and culture is listed under there.
Okay.
And so then it has a listing of West Side Art Trail, Arts Directory, Arts in the Branch, there's several.
Okay.
Buttons, so she is aware of that and working on it. We've been actually working a lot together the last few days, and so it's just a glitch right now, so I apologize for that.
That's fine. I
but
know that.
We do want to capture that, and we appreciate, everybody bearing with us on that. So, as I said, we sent out the letter. A couple of you, the first event coming up is tomorrow night. You should have received an email. If you were volunteered, Jennifer, Rita, and Amy had volunteered to work tomorrow. I don't know if Lauren, you got an email from Lauren? No. Okay, so one, are you still interested? I do need someone to, I know Jennifer, are you coming in your costume? Okay.
Yep, I'm doing the pinata costume because my tarot card things haven't come yet.
Okay, and, did you get an email from Lauren?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told her I'd be there.
Okay, so, Rita and Amy had, we'll need someone at the welcome table that'll, if, in case someone comes that wants, to pick up their sign. Cause we said we were gonna offer it at 4 different events.
Cool.
So, and Jennifer could maybe do a little
I now
bit.
have a conflict that I've got to do.
Okay.
I was gonna beg off too, because I've got a friend coming to town tomorrow, but she can come with me.
Well, and that's up to, there's
If I'm
3,
just sitting at a table in the lovely,
this is a low key, this is from 4 to 6. So
yeah,
it's a-
I took my granddaughter to it last year. I
Okay.
know what it is.
Okay.
And, yeah, so yeah, I can do it.
Okay. And
One
if you can't do it the
Thank
whole
you.
time, Rita, if you can't do it the whole time, so I'm gonna put you down from 4 to 6, so if you can come at 3:45.
Okay.
And by 5 or 5:30, it usually starts winding down a little bit. I mean, Jennifer was fast and furious with candy, but after a while.
I had spider rings and stuff too.
Is there someplace, Bonnie, like, can you tell me now, like, when I'm done, where will the excess signs
I'll
go?
take them, cause I'll be
Okay.
there.
Okay, so you want me
I'll
to
put
do
'em in my
3:45?
office.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only gonna bring out like 10. I could always run upstairs and get more. I'm
Okay.
not gonna bring out, but that's the first event that it'll be at.
And where will that table be?
We'll know tomorrow. It'll be somewhere along the brick pathway. So you're gonna park in the Farmers Branch parking lot, the historical park parking lot off of Farmers Branch Lane. And, if you come a little bit earlier and then you just walk down the brick pathway and you look for myself and I'll point you in the direction.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
the intersection with the train still closed?
yes, it is. Denton, Farmers Branch Lane. It is close. So yes, that would be nice and, that'd be good. So I'm gonna put you down, friend down, and there will be someone else there welcoming people too. So, and I could always step in for a little bit because I don't know if I'm in an exact area or if I'm just floating tomorrow night. We're gonna work through that tomorrow.
Okay.
The next event after that is Halloween in the Park, and this is one that, where there's a marketing tent, and this is where we really said, I think we'll get people that may show up for that. And,
That's the 25th, right?
that's the 25th. The event is from 5 to 10, so you would need to be there from 4:30. And I don't think you have to stay till 10, but there's 3 people signed up, Jennifer, Rita, and Chris Stevenson. So do you guys want to split that, where each of you take an hour or 2-hour shift, and then, I'll be there, I'll be working, but I'll be in a different area, but I can check on you.
It's a Saturday, right? So
It's Saturday, October 25th. The event is from 5 to 10.
I can definitely do 4:30 to 6:30.
I believe I can do most of it, because the only other thing I have going on that morning is the AIA architecture tour, so
So,
I'll be there from 4:30 until close.
Well, you don't need to be there that early if he's there, because there'll already be someone in the tent that will be handing out. So I think one person is sufficient.
Okay.
Because I don't think there'll be a mad rush, but I think if people, we said, come introduce yourself. And that's a way to meet people that are, you know,
Yeah.
artists in
And
our
that's the-
community.
Yeah, that was the point,
Yeah.
the signs is to
Yeah.
build community among the artists and others.
And we want you all to, part of volunteering at our events is we want you to enjoy the events also. So, and I know you like to enjoy the events and know a lot of people. So if you want to come, you're welcome to come whatever time. The doors open at 5, it begins at 5. But then if you want to show up to the tent to relieve him, 6:15, you know, whenever, before 6:30. And
Or I can
then,
do 6:30 and then maybe you can do the end or something like that. We'll text and figure it out.
okay, between you.
We'll get it covered.
Well, as long as most of the night is covered, I feel like then we came and we're there. And that was our whole purpose, was to give the artists and the art
Yeah.
directory an outlet to pick up the sign. So
Yes.
here is that.
Yeah.
After that, it's Branch Arts Live. It's on Sunday, and I'll let Dawn talk about how she wants. We have Jennifer, Rita, Tad, and David. All 4 of you guys have signed up. Want to talk about your needs on that?
Yes, I put down for like welcome and hand out the signs or whatever and some swag that you,
Yes,
Talk
so I
about-
did buy, little grocery bag, you know, those nylon bags that you keep in your purse that you could, say, arts and culture. That we can hand out at Branch Arts Live. Yeah.
oh.
I won't.
Rita, I mean, and y'all can.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I had you down from like 12:15 to 1:30. I have 1:30 to 2:45 David, Tad down from 2:45 to 4. And then Jennifer, you said we've already kind of discussed when you'll be there, so. And if those times don't work for you, just let me know. Rita, the thing doesn't start till 12:45, but like performers and stuff will start checking in. So
Mhm.
there'll be people around at that time. It might not be the sign people, but.
Well, last year I worked that event and we were helping with directions and things. Is
Yeah,
that-
you did a lot.
And
There was a lot.
And we
all of
appreciate
that
that,
would
yeah.
be fantastic
Yeah.
because it's gonna be a different venue. They're gonna have a lot of
Oh,
questions.
that's right.
So, yeah, and if y'all, I mean, if you want to stay longer, you are so welcome to stay
Well, if the
longer.
weather's good.
But, well. it's not gonna
Don't talk about the weather anymore. You can look, just
But
saying
yeah,
loud.
I
Yeah.
just was trying to keep it, so where it wasn't a lot, but we'd love to have you. Y'all were out there for the full time last year.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
great.
I remember last year, and I know I gave you this note last year, a lot of people came to our table saying, is there water someplace?
We have Nuevo Leon, that will be there for food, so there'll be food, there'll be water, so we have taken that note to heart. So,
Excellent.
And you can talk more about it under
Yes.
festivals.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Day of the Dead celebration. It's 6:30 to 9:30, and I had Brianna, Jennifer, and Amy Cave. I was hoping, Jennifer, you would work with Loteria again, if that works for you. I have, another volunteer that will also be calling Loteria, so it can give you a little bit of the break. I know last year you were there the whole time, and I appreciate it. So I needed just Brianna, is, the mariachi from Mountain View College is gonna be performing. So she'll have, Dallas College represented. Hopefully she can help. And I'm looking for someone to help out with crafts. So even if it's only an hour, and we'll take it.
Tell me
So
the times again, and
it's
this is on,
6:30 to 9:30.
it's on
Yeah, it's a Thursday evening, October 30th.
6:30.
So if Jennifer, I can count on you with that, the Loteria, thank you. And then,
You tell me what to do on crafts, I will do, I'm the
Yeah.
least crafty person you've met,
it's easy.
but I'm willing
And-
to.
And you won't be solo, there's people there, and I'll
Don't dance.
go over that.
You gotta let the kids run free. They're like, they make little retablos. Little
Well, we have
boxes,
little,
right?
like the flower crowns,
Yeah.
and we
I
have,
mean, I'm
different
excited to be there,
I'm
but.
excited that you're excited. So well, it's good. So I'll go over that as we get closer. We're gonna start with haunts and houses tomorrow and kind of check them off as we continue. So, thank you all. Do you feel Jennifer, you can work the whole time? Thank you. And Amy, are you thinking early or late or?
I think I can be there the whole time.
Wow, thank
Know the
you.
hours again?
6:30 to
Yeah,
9:30.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you can be there
Yeah.
at 6, that would be
That's what I put
ideal.
in my phone.
Okay. And then whenever, like you can leave by 9:30, whatever works for you. Thank you both so much. And then I'll talk to Brianna. Thank you.
I
Sorry that
have
I'm
a
talking lot.
question slash favor. Can you print a bunch of these for
Again.
haunted houses and all so that we can hand those out? Cause I've been telling my neighbors about it,
Great.
but there hasn't been anything posted on the city socials yet. And the other thing was, I know that website's not working yet for the artist, call for artists or whatever. Would you be opposed to letting me create like a Google Doc or a Google form where I can pull that information and then be able to email it to you in one go? So that someone opens up a QR code and puts the information that they eventually will populate.
I'm gonna let Robert,
Basically, they're
that.
just
I
giving me
use
the information that's
printed
gonna go
paper.
straight to
Yeah,
the
instead of,
site.
she's saying instead of gathering it all on paper and handing it to Bonnie, she's gonna gather it electronically and hand it to Bonnie.
Yeah, and it'll be just a Google form that spits out into a spreadsheet that can then be populated easy.
Okay, I think that sounds okay.
Okay, I'll create that QR code. If you could, I'll have it ready by the morning, and if you could print and laminate it, that would be helpful.
Laminator's not working, but I
Then
can
not a
print
big
it and put it in a, I'm at a sheet protector.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that works.
perfect.
We're kind of, yeah, in the process. We just found that out. Our heat element's not working. So, yes, I will do that. You send it to me and I will print Branch Arts Live. I do have about 25 printed. And it should be, I just spoke to Amanda Johnson today and I gave her a little blurb about it. So it is going out to be. We're on it.
I know they're not our events, but they're city events. Can I quickly mention those?
Not under this particular, we will when we get to event review. Okay. Amy, I'm turning over to you since you're the chair.
So now we're moving on. If there's nothing else from artist outreach, we're gonna move on to arts and culture and public spaces. Chris?
Okay, yeah. Tad and I were able to get together, kind of last minute last week and we did, talk over a few things. The, contest for the wrap boxes, this would be for, the city has said they're doing sports themed boxes in 2025, but we were gonna have a contest in 2025 to wrap that would ultimately be 4 boxes in 2026. So we were wondering if we could get something out here soon through the schools to invite students for submissions and tell them that the due date was February 20th, some date in February. And we were thinking that we should try and drive themes around these, so we wanted to talk through that, and we were thinking the theme could be Texas Eyes, your favorite artist. So, like in the style of an artist, some that you admire, something that represents Texas, whatever.
So this is after the sports themed ones?
Right.
Okay, and then this would only be open to students?
This one would be open to students and we would have another one in a few months that was open to everybody that would have a different theme.
When you say students, are you talking college and
Yes,
just college or college?
college and CFB, ISB.
I like the various artists, a Texas something done in a style of different artists. That's nice.
I vote Julian Underdog.
What's that? Oh, your
Julian
favorite
Underdog.
artist? Okay,
Texas artist. yeah.
okay. That one went over my head, but okay. And, we were wondering, did we want to put the the teachers can help suggest a style or help them pick artists or something like that if they want to, but something that celebrates Texas. And we were wondering if maybe the next branch Arts Live, we would announce, that would be for the next contest. So, we would do a contest that was open to everyone and we would do a new theme. I don't think I had a theme written down yet for that one, but we would at a subsequent meeting have ideas for themes. And we would time that one so that we could announce the winners at the next Branch Arts Live.
That's great.
And we were thinking from the school contest, maybe we'd try and do 10 designs, and then we do from the wider contest, we do 5 designs. If the city felt like 15 reps was doable in 2026 or 2026 into Q1 of 2027, something like that.
I don't know what we budgeted.
No, that
Okay.
that would not be possible, but not to say that you have to see your submissions and
Mhm.
then vote on, what you feel are the top that would work nicely on we do send out the dimensions of the
Mhm.
boxes, so what look the best, and we would just have to see how many we're able to wrap at that time. So I think let's focus on the first one that you want to roll out, whenever that is, and see what comes back and decide how many we want to wrap at that point. And it would be less than 5.
Less
Because
than
we're
5
wrapping
altogether.
7 right now. No, less than 5 for the first. We're
Okay.
gonna concentrate just on the first one and
Okay.
then we'll move on to let's get this one up and running, but because this one that I'm doing the 7 on now is, it's taken a while to roll out and with these, we have the graphics involved as well as the wrapping, so.
Okay,
For the cost and everything's going up, so we just have to see what type of artwork comes back, how many that we really want to see on a utility box and go from there.
and I found my notes about a theme for the bigger group when it's more to the public would be, I said we would try and announce the winners at Branch Arts Live. We were thinking at Gateway to the Globe, we could announce the kickoff of the contest. And do a theme of global heritage. And maybe send out the Farmers Branch logo with the leaves at the top and ask that somehow be incorporated. So some people could just have it in the corner or somebody could
Mhm.
make
I
a
like
whole
that.
thing out of it,
Yeah,
right?
I like jumping off
Right.
of that logo. I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Anything
other-
else on that?
The other thing that was it for that theme with the contest. The other idea we talked about that we wanted to ask what sort of traction we thought we could get is we both kind of feel strongly that we should be we'd like to see more murals. Carrollton has a lot. We think there's opportunity for that in Farmers Branch, so we were wondering if we reached out to building owners or to businesses to sponsor and pay for a mural.
So you might want
Would
to
that
talk to David about that because David did all that work previously.
Yeah, it's, so if it's a city-owned building, the city can do whatever they want to on a city-owned building. When it's a privately owned building, it starts getting to be really wacko. And so typically my experience is the city is hesitant, maybe not because of money, but because of all the rest of the liability and all the other things that go with that. If the city's hiring an artist and they're painting on a building that you own, then all of a sudden it's like you handing your car keys to someone to drive their car. And those are the places where cities get nervous. So that's our
Right.
experience. We're in a city-owned building, so the city put a mural on the side of the city-owned building. And that was fine. I reached out to, the Western Securities people who own all the buildings in Mustang Station, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, trying to do what you're talking about.
When you say the buildings, you mean like,
I mean, like Cox Farms,
Oh,
the
okay.
brewery.
Got
it.
all right,
Both, Cox Farms is facing west, so
right,
people driving east would be able to see a mural on that side. The brewery is, the wall is facing this side, so people
Mhm.
driving west could see it on Valley View, which is probably the most highest traffic street in Farmers Branch. And I could never get the senior vice president of Western Securities to ever even engage, even talking about whether the city was gonna pay for it or not. And so,
gotcha.
so there just didn't seem to be much interest from that, and that's a public-private partnership, just FYI. That's not, I mean, Western Securities owns the building, but the land is partially owned by the city and partially owned by Western Securities and whatever the arrangement is.
Gotcha.
So of all the people that ought to be interested in a high-traffic area,
Mhm.
they ought to be interested. I think, though, we did also have some conversations. I know Amy remembers this when we had other citizens on this committee, artists, specifically about the east side where the warehouses are. There seemed to be people who were making noise that they were interested in that. The challenge over there is there's not a lot of traffic over there. And
Right.
so now you're going and asking the city to spend $5,000 or 10 or whatever it is on a mural on a building that's over on a street that no one really goes to.
We're also wondering about some of the buildings that are in Farmers Branch but face 635. And if there were opportunities there, or if it was possible to reach out, not necessarily offering to pay, but offering to, are you interested? Could you connect, the city could help promote,
My strategy was if I
advertise
could
it,
get the senior
right.
VP to respond, I'm not promising anything,
right,
but just show an interest, then I could connect you to, Development Parks or whoever it is, arrange a meeting, which would lead to, more discussion so that staff could take a proposal to council to get a budget approved, because there is no money, obviously, but if there's a great idea, staff is always willing to take it to council if it's a great idea. That's
Gotcha.
also been my experience, but I could not get, like I say, that particular, business owner to even respond.
all right. Well, we're gonna keep talking about it, I think, amongst our subcommittee, but we wanted to throw it out there as, idea. Brad, seating,
The other way you can do it, and this may be these conversations go through political cycles, but the same way that there's a facade grant and there's a demo rebuild grants,
yeah,
there could be a mural grant, for example. The council's been lowering the amount that they funded for those things over the past few years.
gotcha.
So, but again, if someone put together a drop dead proposal of, hey, this would be a good idea, this is how this looks.
Right,
A facade grant, the way that works, if you own a business and you're redoing anything on the front of your building, specifically signage, but even if you're painting or replacing glass
mhm,
and it costs X amount of dollars, there's an application online, you can fill it out. I think that goes through economic development, and then it goes to the city and it ultimately goes to council, and there's a budget for facade grants. And,
Gotcha.
you're generally not gonna get everything you ask for, but,
but you might get a partial.
you might get a partial, which helps offset some of the costs. And the whole idea is to beautify, to take these old buildings that are 50 years old and bring them up to speed.
That sounds
up
like
to
the kind of
beautify.
thing
But that would
we had
be-
in mind,
It could be a facade grant part 2,
Right.
murals.
The really obvious ones that utilized it are like Alpha and Midway in the northeast corner, that barbecue Korean place. They used that to build that patio out and
Oh,
do
okay.
landscaping and stuff like that. And then a little bit further up Midway, there's a couple of them that use that. And then a bunch of them down Alpha.
The BK place you're talking
Yes.
about? Yeah, okay, gotcha, yeah. Okay, good information.
Very good. Thank you, David.
And that way, all I say is that way, when it's a facade grant, the business owner is responsible for hiring the contractor to do all the work. They
Right.
still have to go to the city and present whatever the plan is and get the planning group or whoever it is to sign off on it. And that might be the same process for a mural, for example. I'm just making that up. I don't know that, but again, the city's not involved in hiring the contractor. The city's not worried about liability because the city's not doing the work. The city's just putting the money there as a partial offset, for the business owner to.
That sounds like what I was,
That makes sense.
what I was picturing too, like, our role would be more just pitching the idea, are you, think about how good it would look, it would help,
Yeah,
and, it helps put the city, give the city more visibility, so. Good. Thank you.
Thank you for all your input. We appreciate it. Thanks, Chris, for presenting. I just had a couple of things to add. So we did start the process on the wrapping of the utility boxes. We have 3 designs that are ready. 2 are being installed next week. One in time for pickleball, which will go in at Marsh and Brookhaven Club, which this is a sneak peek of it. This is the
That's cute.
and the sports theme, pickleball, golf, and tennis. And then we have the other one going in at Dennis and Valley View. And that's where the softball, baseball fields are, soccer.
Right,
So that's quite fun. And then our third one, doesn't have a date on it to be installed, but it's we wanted something bright and colorful, so I don't know where this is going yet, but it's kind of a flower theme. And I'll share all that once that comes, but I wanted to give you a sneak preview on that. So we are in the
but you
work.
don't know where that one's going yet?
Not yet. I have my list and
Okay,
we may change it because we changed this a little bit. But Rachel and I are working on that. So we're excited and feel that we want to bring a lot of color too. So with that, when you say the murals, this is a little less expensive way to show art in when you're driving down, and hopefully in the areas that we picked for our first round of that, you'll be like, oh, there's one of those utility boxes. So we're excited about that. So be on the lookout here in the coming weeks.
I like that flowery one. It looks like Rifle Paper Company.
It's fun.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, vibrant. Thank you, Amy.
Okay, strategic planning.
We have not met. No, I thought
I'm gonna know, we need to meet before our next meeting.
Great, we look forward to that. Arts and culture festivals. I pass it to you, Dawn.
Well, Branch Arts Live is right around the corner. Been up here a lot lately, just with trying to make sure with changing venues has brought some fun and exciting challenges. And so we have hopefully conquered those challenges. I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, we met the sound person out here yesterday. We thought through what the stage leveling kind of looks like. So all that should be good to go. We just need to get the people out here and have a great event, and hopefully, knock on wood, weather's beautiful. And yeah, and then we have several people obviously volunteering. So hopefully those times work for you. If not, just let me know and I can move around some stuff. But yeah, we put a timeline together today of just who's helping and when they're helping and how they can help. And yeah, the Marley will be delivered next Friday, and we'll just put it all together and hopefully have an amazing event. And we're obviously adding the mariachi pieces of the puzzle, and I'm looking forward to that. The food vendor.
I'm looking forward to the food.
Yeah. That will be great. So yeah, it should be a great day. So hopefully everybody can make it out there and enjoy the day. So
But I know too, that we had a, meeting with public safety last week that, Circle Park team put together and got fire and police all up to date. So they'll be out that day. We're not closing any roads, but, which is good. But our people will have event signs out and have a game plan for all that, so,
well,
Yeah.
and y'all sent volunteers our way too. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
a great partnership.
Yeah, our
and-
thanks to city staff,
Yeah.
Bonnie, Rob, Jessica,
Yeah.
you all have really stepped into the gap, Roy.
yeah.
You've all stepped into the
Yeah.
gap and really helped this
I
event
think we
come
found a home
together.
For it. I think we have, but.
I think we have too.
This year. From there.
Have you
Yeah,
done anything else there recently?
Oh,
So this is like the first activation.
well, I mean, there was activation 30+ years ago.
Yeah.
so it'll be,
I don't know.
it'll be interesting.
So parking will be interesting and
The whole thing will
Yeah.
be interesting, but we're ready for it. We're, we feel very supported in the venture, and hopefully it'll be a great day.
We heard back from the Baptist church, let them know about it. They were very supportive. And Bonnie's trying to reach out to the other church on the corner and
I just dropped, they had a mailbox outside their,
hopefully we'll.
church office, so I put a flyer with a little tidbit about what's going on, just so they're aware of that. And yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, we're
gonna-
booked from like 12:15 to 4 o'clock. I mean, 45 different pieces, and so it's gonna be a lot.
And such a nice variety too. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, from ballerinas on point all the way to the folklorico to contemporary pieces. I mean, such a nice variety. So I think that's gonna be
And
really.
a variety of ages, which is
Absolutely.
nice. And there's just.
Now we've got the Dallas Tap Dazzlers joining us
Mhm.
again, and some of their members are, eighties now.
And they're still dancing.
Yeah, they got some killer legs.
Kicking those beautiful legs. So-
My husband keeps telling me that's my next venture.
Just.
I love that.
So, something for everybody.
Yes.
The city's creating the brochure, right?
I have the performance order and stuff, and if you could do a QR code again for it.
Send me everything you got.
That was
It's-
amazing.
Cause I still have the spreadsheet
You're
from,
so awesome. Okay.
Yeah, last year, if you didn't know, Jennifer made a QR code link to every performing group and then linked that to their website, which was great.
So good.
So it
and
was
their
a digital,
socials.
yes, and their social. So it was a digital program that, helped connect all the different groups that
Yes.
were together. And the other really fun side note that happened out of it last year was, my studio ended up then being contacted through the event to go to Evergreen, which is a retirement facility in the area. They were getting no performers at all of any kind. And a resident was here
Hmm.
at the event and asked me, well, would anybody come dance for us? And I said, well, I'll come. So we went out there. So we're looking at partnering with them again to bring some entertainment out to them. So that's, carrying that forward a little bit and connecting more within the community.
Yes. And that's what it's all about.
Bonnie, I have a contact for that church on the corner.
Oh, great.
Oh,
And I will forward it to you. She reached out to me about a mural, so I'll forward it to you too, about 2 months ago. So I'll just connect all you guys.
yeah, just we were wanting to give them the courtesy since it is on a Sunday.
They've been very willing. They allow us to
Okay,
use parking there, so I'm sure, I won't speak for them, but historically, they've been very open.
Well,
good.
when we had our peak meeting with PD, they said specifically outreach to them and let them know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was issues before, but anyway, we're trying to head that off, but yes, I agree.
That would, yeah, we would appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate all the behind the scenes.
Oh,
Yes.
It's been a team group effort.
So much has happened. We're excited about the boards, the tap boards, and everything's gonna be just such a great coming together.
Yes, well, thank you to you all for organizing it and taking the time and effort to bring in the wonderful local talent that we have in our community to showcase them in our beautiful park. So thank you all.
Okay.
I have some favor. So, there's a scout troop that meets at Johnson Outpost and they have a holiday wreath fundraiser. I called to see if they could sell like at city council and they said no because it's on their property, but they can do a citizen comment. I don't know if the same thing applies, but if they were to have a table where people could like do the kids would man the fundraising table, is that something that
I
be
think we
allowed?
got into issues with vendor stuff on that, so I think that was not something we could overcome this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was more students that it goes back into their programs that they
Yeah.
were selling their own art.
They
Is that
can or
correct?
they can't, the students?
The students can. They're having, I think, a Dallas College table and a CFB table but the proceeds go directly back into their program.
Right, and that's why I was gonna ask, because my understanding was on that. Scouts, like, when they do their fundraiser for the wreath, it goes right back into their 501c3 organization. So they sell these wreaths annually so that they can make the funds so that they can go do their activities and events and stuff like that. It's camp outs. If that's something that can be allowed, I'll call the city manager and see if that one would be approved, if y'all are okay with it.
Well, Rob and I can discuss it.
Yeah, I don't think you do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
meet
but
at
it's
the
just-
Johnson Outpost, so they're local.
Yeah, is there any other ones that we're looking at besides that, or no? Yeah, let us talk, if you wanna send Bonnie what you're wanting to do, and then let her and I talk through it, and let me just double check, and we'll see what we can do. We'll
Yeah.
let you know something pretty quick.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, we're moving on to events review, Jennifer.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff. Okay, so Gateway to the Globe Committee is gonna kick off on November 6th. I sent out the first like notification calendar event, and then I'm sending out the emails to the past persons. The bummer thing that this city has is that the budget doesn't have the adult pop-up events budgeted in, but that's the next thing that they're wanting to hopefully move forward to. The Halloween in the park is October 25th. And then the Christmas carnival is coming up on December 6th. I have sign up lists here, but there may be a reindeer possibility, live reindeer. They're gonna look at food and beverage related vendors, a Santa workshop with crafts. That would be fun to volunteer at if y'all are interested. Possibly using the venue 1842 for ADA food services so that persons that can't really move around the park as easily, at least will have a nice place to like dine and enjoy some of the events. Y'all already mentioned Branch Arts Live. What does it say? Oh, one thing that maybe like us as a committee would also be able to attend is the Arbor Day event. Maybe we could have like a craft with the kids cutting out their hands like on green paper and like doing some kind of cool craft for the tree planting ceremony. That would be an idea.
When they're handing out the trees, the November.
Yeah,
Okay.
November 6th or 8th, I can't remember. The 8th, yeah, so the tree handing out, the 5-gallon trees that you can sign up for right now, they hand out in the morning, and then they have like a ceremony after that too, where they're also gonna be handing out little saplings. So it'd be cool to have like a little
My
event where the
suggestion
kids.
for that, for a craft would be not something with scissors and glue. I would say get a printout of the city logo, which is a tree, and have crayons.
Okay.
And let them color the leaves, anything, anyway, and that'd be much simpler and need less supervision.
I think Josie's got kind of a, so the way it's gonna go is from 9 to 10 is gonna be kind of like those kind of activities and giveaways and stuff. We'll have our tree ceremony out here at 9:45. And then from 10 to 12 is when those that have reserved a tree can pick up the tree in the parking lot as well. So it's kind of, we're trying to combine forces with Public Works because they're the ones that do that big. And then we'll have small little sapling things we can give out. Their trees that you reserve are bigger. And you need a,
And they're completely reserved now.
yeah, I think that.
Oh, really?
They go really quick, yeah.
Yeah, they go quick. You have to be there at noon on,
I got mine.
I did it last year and you had to be putting your name in the first day.
Yeah, I think this year it's the Mexican plum, Mexican oak.
Yep.
So,
you got it.
yeah, so anyway, but it should be fun. We not combined an event like that, so it's mainly the tree ceremony, maybe a little fluff around it and stuff, and then the focus then is the giveaway of the big trees after that, so not sure how much, Josie's got a lineup of what all they've got going on. I'm not sure what all she's got planned for that morning, but it's not, this is a very small
Yeah.
event, so.
But if you wanted to do something with the kids, maybe Branch Arts Live when, they're there, if you wanted to bring, sheets or you're interested in, I mean, I have crayons, individual crayons that I don't mind bringing, but we could, since we do have the pavilion there, they could color there. We can just have color sheets
Sidewalk
out.
chalk.
Sidewalk chalk, yeah, I don't find it, I think that's fine.
I'm not sure where they're gonna wanna, where they're setting up. It might be more, I don't know, you have to get with Josie to see kind of where, I'm just not sure how the setup's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would focus more on, well, just because Branch Arts Live is really a representative of arts and culture.
Yeah.
So I think that would be.
Yeah, I definitely want to expand
You
upon
wanted
it
to
over
do
the
some
future.
kind of kid thing there, because it sounds like Josie and the community events team has that wrapped up for the tree giveaway.
I was curious, since we're talking about those events, how's parking for Halloween in the park working with all the construction?
Rapid adjustment.
Yeah, we'll have the counter source parking, which is closer to the historical park. Right, in
Okay.
the contract, there's another parking area a little further down Ford Road. And then there is those office areas that aren't started construction, so. We're gonna have to actually rent some of that parking, over there off Ford Road. We're direct to everybody, still come in the same way out Via Creek.
Mm,
And then it is more limited, than what we've had previously, but we have added some more parking. I think Halloween will be fine. I think our challenge is gonna be 4th of July. So we're actually looking at some shuttle stuff when we get to 4th of July, just because we don't know if we'll have enough parking, so.
Gotcha.
Trying to look at some options there for that. Halloween, I think will be, because it's a shorter event, I mean, 4th of July is a short event, but it's just a bigger crowd. for
Yeah.
that. So,
Understood. Yeah.
yeah, Halloween's more of a quick, a lot of people might stay an hour or so and then they bug out.
Mhm.
People sit for 4th of July till the fireworks to the very end, so
Right.
just a little bit different. So we're looking at options, maybe parking here in a shuttle, maybe at Orangood, something close. In addition to whatever Ford Road parking we have. And then David said something earlier, we are in the process of, adding some parking along Ford Road by the park for venue specifically. Well, it's for the park in general, but, it's just off-street parallel parking. So
Oh, I
we're looking at
see.
adding spaces on each side of Ford Road. About 20 or so spaces each side, so
Oh, that'd be good.
hopefully
quite
that'll allow most events at the venue to have parking on the street.
Mhm.
Between that, I think we have 60 spaces at the regular parking lot, so that about 100 spaces. That should probably do most events at the venue. And then if we have the bigger events, of course, we gotta spread out after that, but,
Gotcha.
anyway, that's exciting for us. Streets was able to actually put that in their regular street project, because that street needed to be redone anyway, and so we were able to kind of piggyback on it. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Hopefully they'll be finished with the blacktop resurface next week. They finished all the concrete work already, so And I'll just come back with a stripe and sign and stuff. So by Christmas, it'll all be done. Now, we shut Ford Road down anyway for Christmas, but if you see any events and stuff out there, they'll be able to park in the street, so.
Okay, interesting.
And they'll go quick, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I think it's good, because at least people that have, even the smaller events, most people can probably park in the street. I mean, if you had, because our max is what, 200 at the venue, so. Yeah, I mean, you could probably, most events are probably in that 50 to 70, or maybe under 100, so. Yeah, 50 spaces or so is probably what you would need, so between what's in there and what's on the street, we should be able to. We just looked at all kinds of options of parking in the park, and it just never did work out.
yeah,
It's just too. Well, a lot of it had to do with most of the park's floodplain.
Yeah. On some, there's been some events where people parked on the grass on the other side of, on the side by Liberty
Yeah,
Plaza,
Yeah.
but that would be hard to get through with the
there will be
construction
on-street
now.
parking when they get finished with Denton Drive as well.
Yeah.
So they've had some, but, so once that narrows, a lot of that is gonna accommodate street parking.
Gotcha,
Mainly for a lot of the stuff going on at Star Center, but
right.
it'll help with some of the other stuff too.
So, the last thing, the volunteer opportunities, there's like the normal applications, and then there's also the Santa on the Move, which is December 7th from 11:30 until 12:30. That's when Santa goes around to different houses and takes photo ops, right? Pancakes and Pajamas, December 13th from 9 to 11. If y'all are interested in volunteering for those, y'all can sign up here. The Christmas Carnival was from 5 to 9 on December 6th. We already mentioned Halloween in the park, but there's opportunities to assist in the Santa lines, guest services, activity coordinators, and food and beverage assistance. So these will be here.
And that'd be great to bring that next month too. Once we get through our fall events, then we could focus on the holiday ones. I think that'd be great. Thank you for organizing that, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Anybody else, go to an event, go to the Firehouse Theater for one of the shows? Anybody have anything they'd like to tell that they've been to in the city in the last?
Well, I was noticing the solar lights along the parkway, or is that your deal?
Oh,
Along
Rawhide Creek.
Rawhide Creek and
Oh.
Dolphin Green. I know, I was driving past there today and those new lights are solar, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, trails are kind of more public works, but I know they've been working with us on their light program.
Mhm.
Once they build it, then it's ours. But-
Yeah.
But right now, it's kind of their baby.
Well, they look
It
great.
looks great. The trail looked great.
Yes. Yes.
Anything else under events review?
Not specifically.
Okay, let's move on to agenda items for future committee meetings. Is there anything we need to add on that does not already fall under a subcommittee?
Well, the only thing I have is that, the annual review to council, city council we did get our date. It is Tuesday, November 4th, and Amy will be presenting, the PowerPoint. I don't know if we have a time on that yet. I didn't see one.
They have been having them during study session, which probably would be between 4 and 5. They have sometimes, depending on the agenda, start them at 3:30. I would hope they would try to get everybody's done that have, so they've actually got, board year-end reviews all for all 4 council meetings in November and December. So they split it up. So we've got the 2 in November. So we have arts and culture and library. And then we have, I think, senior advisory, the 2nd November meeting. Then we've got, I know park board's in the last December meeting, and I want to say, and the historical park board, I guess, is that 1st December meeting. So
That's right.
hopefully, if they do a few each, I think the intention is few each meeting, so everybody can get theirs done, and so it's not, here's 6 of these at one time, and we have to, Because I know that, I think that happened a few times this past year where the people had to wait because we couldn't get them all in and so that.
And so you're thinking during study session?
Yeah, I think they'll have them during study session. That way everybody can go before. Because usually they adjourn about 5 to go to, for their dinner break and executive session. And then we'll start the real meeting at 6. So, but if they do it in study session, that's more of a good time for Q&A with council and if there's questions. So
So Amy's a pro at it and has done it several times, so she has it on her calendar, so if you wanna come and support her, great, if not, you could watch it, and,
And Bonnie put up a great, so Jackie, our senior center manager, put together a template, used it for our senior advisory board, so we're using the same template for each of these now. Everybody kind of had a different take on it, so I wanted to kind of standardize it a little bit. But then everybody can have it unique with what they put in it, so, so that at the end, they'll all kind of have the same format, but they'll have different information, so. And hers look great, and library did theirs too, so they should go really good. We've got, there's what, 7 or 8 slides, something like that?
7,
Yeah, it's, yeah, so.
a few pictures,
Mhm.
a few, facts, and, yeah, I think,
It'd be good.
I think we feel pretty confident about it, yeah. And we'll review it before and talk about it a little bit more, but, so I thought, David, maybe you were asking about that, so we did get our date,
Yeah.
so November 4th, Tuesday, yep. Great, anything else that we wanna put on for next
Do we have
month?
any update on the West Side sculptures?
I'll let Rob talk
Yeah,
about that, we're still moving forward, right?
Yeah, I mean, so at this point, I'm trying to still work with the manager on, what process we're gonna take moving forward, if we're just gonna let council know through means of because they typically, the managers have meetings with the council once a week. So trying to see if they just want a memo to just inform them, hey, this is what's going on. What I feel like it's gonna, we'll start there and we'll probably get to, we need to have some kind of study session in front of open session where we can kind of at least let them know visually where all these are gonna go, and then possibly need some, maybe Amy, even you there just to kind of answer any questions. I know Maria started the process years ago. She works in public works, but she is actually they just awarded the bid for West Side Trail, the first phase, so she's very knowledgeable on both sides, so I might even ask her to kind of sit in if there's questions on, why did we pick these pieces, and, I mean, we went around where they needed to be, but some of that history, but I don't know when that's gonna happen yet, so we'll just gotta chip it away, so, we'll keep you guys posted.
Great. Thank you.
And next month will be the last meeting of the year. We do take off in December. So November, I don't have that third week in November. Exact date, if you can confirm that. Oh, you know what, I do have
The 19th
19.
Yep,
be our last meeting for
Oh
2025.
my goodness, almost the end of the year. But I wanted to say thank you to you all for volunteering your time. I know everyone's lives are very busy and you're running from here to there, so thank you all for having the passion to want to sit on this committee. I appreciate each and every one of you.
I have did anybody go to the comedies and cocktails thing? Is that done through Firehouse Theater, or is that just a city event? Or is that,
I thought that was the
TBD.
French Connection that
Okay.
did that.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's right, I know what that is. That was their regular, they have 3 big events a year, and that was their fall event. It went really well.
I heard great things about it.
I think they've come to find out that any event they have with food goes off really well.
Any event.
The challenge now is, I think because we had senior advisory last week, was we need to have things that they'll stick around longer. And we're like, well, maybe if you had food all along the way, it'll stay through, but anyway, so.
I went to the state fair in Arthcoggle and I took cards and photos of the QR codes of the different artists, that when we get to the point to expand Branch Arts Live and bring in artists, that I had some recommendations.
You're so awesome.
Yeah, Arts Goggles over in Fort Worth, and they had basically 20 blocks from Magnolia Street on the south side. It's awesome. I went to the Builders of Hope Valwood Community Meeting event. That was really awesome. They're basically getting rid of dilapidated houses that people own and providing them with brand new ones that are without great expense to the existing homeowner. The FD and the PD both had open houses that my neighbors who have little kids that were awesome. And then our neighborhood night out was October the 7th, and that turned out really well. And we had lost our block captain, but another one stepped in, and now there's 3 new ladies that have stepped in. So like a lot of these events and stuff like that, when we get flyers like this, I'm grabbing them up and going around and telling everybody, go to these events. So hopefully we're gonna have good attendance from Valley View Estates.
That's awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
I just wanted to bring, I don't know if we've told you guys, but we utilize a vendor called Placer AI, and they, provide feedback on what they basically do is they have a system where they can look at cell phone pings. So for events, you can geofence an area. And so for Branch Arts Live, might be a good one for us to try. We've tried it on some other events, but since you don't have like a ticketed way to get in, so what we can probably look at that one. We'll do one for Halloween in the Park and some of these other ones. But we might look at that to help. I don't think it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty good. And I've talked to them. I had a meeting with them earlier this week. The way the algorithm works too, they know, which is so weird, but they know, like, because we're like, well, kids don't have phones, so it's just the parents, right? And they're like, well, no, that's true, but the algorithm knows if that parent has kids, it's weird. So
They're probably
it's weirdly accurate, more accurate than you would think it is. But she goes, they usually will do an under number, so their estimates are usually always a little bit under, just because, but.
That'd be interesting.
I think that'll be cool,
Yeah.
because it'll be out there, we can geofence the area around the park and see.
Just for accounts, you mean, or does it get comments and stuff too?
No, this is just pure
Attendance.
counts.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
Where's Tad?
Yeah.
He's our sheep counter.
So it's how many phones were in that fence?
It goes and find, yeah, you outline the area, like we've done it for fishing fun, so that's in that area already, so.
Gotcha.
Because for that event, I mean, they're all over the park, so there's no way, we can go, well, yeah, there's 1,000 people, but we don't know for sure. But for, I think, some of the bigger events, like we did it for 4th of July and stuff, and, they were estimating 7,000 plus, and
Right.
when we looked at our numbers for our tickets, it was pretty close to that, so, anyway, that's a cool, so we might try that for
That'd be
that,
awesome.
just to kind of give us some base numbers, so.
That's great. Well, the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The counters.
You could do that if
Yes.
everyone's going into one place.
You're
Yes.
right.
The hard part is when they're,
That's right,
Yeah.
spread out. And that's what we want them to enjoy our parks and listen to, some new music and watch beautiful art. So great. Thank you for sharing that, Ron.
no problem,
Yeah,
we just,
that's great.
it was fresh mind, because we just met with them, so.
Anything else? All right, I will now accept
I
motion to
make a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed? The meeting is adjourned at 7:03 PM. We're still recording. And